That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
You're not like
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And he's right, this is on live television.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 30. I'm about to be 30. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man. You know what the problem is though? It's definitely not me. I think it's everybody else. I'm about to be 34 and I have no family.
You will file articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you'd like to see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Bottom line, the American dream, the great American dream versus being a socialist hellhole.
Oh, yeah. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before. Early in the my opinion is never too much. Little double sound deck. So that's the story, folks.
Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Wonderful to allow protesting. No. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
You know, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
We like to troll. We like to go the night before one of their primaries. We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling. Bernie Sanders was very upset. Why would he be there? Why? Because I want to win. I want to keep everybody happy. That's a good reason.
people in Law and Order, people in Law and Order, people in Law and Order.
They're clearly the same niggas Antifa, like Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump, like Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump, like Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump, Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump, Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump.
Get your words straight, Jack.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it.
Mr. Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
The reason the market is doing what it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people, and it's just a way of attacking wealthy people, and I think it's inappropriate. We all got to work together and pull together.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
They're not accountable to anyone. Don't fucking forget that.
Who are you talking about with that, Jimmy?
I'm talking about anybody who's a progressive in Congress who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote. All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall. Every fucking one of them is selling you out and canceling you for their own personal gain.
Dumb people, liberal people.
Hello users, and welcome to another episodic in style motherfucking-ation of whatever the hell this is. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I have just no idea. So I just want to apologize everyone for showing up a little late. I woke up at 6 and was like, you know what? I'll get another 90 minutes of sleep because my brain is, for those of you that don't know, the average, REM cycle when you wake up in the middle of the night is about 90 minutes. So my brain's like, I woke up at 6, right? I woke up at 6, and, I'm like, okay. Alright, I walked Max. He had the fucking shit, so, I walked Max, gave him some food, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get myself another 90 minutes. It's only 6 in the morning. I wake up and it'll be like maybe 7:50 because, I walked Max and all that. So I'll get myself another 90 minutes, get myself a hot new REM cycle. I wake up, it's 9:51 or whatever it is. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta walk Max still. So I walk Max, I come in, and then here we are. So that's kind of the situation right now. I had an incredible dream, several incredible dreams. It's one of those nights that it's like, you just have some crazy motherfucking dreams, right? And, one of the things about this dream is it was a very, very aware dream. It was like one of those weird dreams where it's like, the dream is kind of like a movie, and I'm watching the movie and thinking about the movie while I'm watching it, but the dream is still happening, and it's very intense. So it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but you know how, you can watch a movie, and then while you're watching the movie, you zone out, you're just thinking about, what you're gonna do tomorrow or whatever, or tonight, or I can't wait until this, or whatever, that's kind of like it, for me, except the dream was very, by the way, reminder, day 2, no coffee, but the dream was, a little bit, a little double, but yeah, no, it was great. The dream was very intense. It was very, like, you know, meaningful in a personal sense. And then, like, I was able to, like, kind of, like, I guess, go through it without, you know, normally, you know, like, I write dreams down and then I'll read it later and go, like, oh, that's what that means. But I had those, like, epiphany moments, like, during the actual dream itself. Very, very interesting. So, like, you know, part of this dream was, like, I was running through a supermarket. And I was looking at all the foods, and it was like all these foods I used to eat in my entire life, like almost every single brand and every package of every food I've ever eaten. And I was looking at all the foods, and I was like frantically, like the dream version of me was like frantically looking for a specific food. And then I'm like thinking about like, wow, I can't believe that, like, you know, my brain is capable of, like, I was like, it was a really bizarre thing, because like normally a lucid dream for me is like, I take control of my dream self. I don't normally let the dream play out and then am lucid throughout it. So this was like a somewhat new experience for me. So I'm like looking at all this like random stuff in a supermarket, and then there starts to be like a hurricane, you know, like winds and everything. And then like all the walls to the supermarket, it's a big supermarket, but all the walls like fall down. And it's revealed that, like, I'm on a boat, and I'm afraid of boats, right? So, like, and then it's like, wow, right? Like, it's crazy. And then I woke up at some point, and I was like, wait a second. I woke up, and my alarm didn't wake me up. What's the scoop here? And I look at my phone, and I'm like, oh, shit. Whoops. Right? So that's the situation we're at now. So I tried to sleep for a cool 90 minutes. Ended up being, like, a cool 3 hours. Like I said, the average REM cycle later in your stages of sleep is about 90 minutes. So it's like I had like 2 like REM cycles or something. I'm not sure exactly the, you know, I'm not an expert. I just read books about this shit, right? So I'm not an expert. But I had like 2 full REM cycles. So I guess like part 1 was the supermarket and part 2 was like the boat part, because as soon as that started happening, like almost everything shifted a little bit. It was no longer about food. It was about like, you know, trying to fucking survive, and it was kind of like a survival scenario, and it was kind of like, you know, I was trying to like calm myself down, trying to stay alive. You know, it was very, 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 very meaningful in that kind of sense. So hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. So as a result, I woke up late. And I don't have much, so I'm just like on Google News, and I'm just gonna like scroll through some things that I see that are interesting, and then, you know, I'll give it to you. So we'll just deal with that. I'm sorry there's not, you know, a pre-planned show. I mean, like most of my shows are just kind of garbage, but today's gonna be a little bit haphazard. Again, reminder, day 2, no coffee. All right, like that's me right now. Hello, Torrential Rage. Hello, Billiard Dilliard. Hello, Guy, Hosty Boy. Hello, Max. Hello, AMC Thousandaire. Hello, Guinea the Dragon. Hello, Suzanne Yuck Ping Pong. Hello, Philby John. Hello, Home. Hello, Antifa Sophia. Hello, JL. Hello, Michael Silveroni. Hello, Quibble. Hello, Mr. Doodle Butt. Hello, Hook. Hello, hello, Patty Heffley. Hello, Bo Dan. Hello, S31 Cow. Hello, Addy Had Me Like. Yo, y'all gotta get to school, motherfucker. Not daycare, school. Let me just tell you.
Look, they have every school, not daycare.
Yeah, there
school,
you go.
School, not daycare. School.
Addy Had Me Like. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hello, Christian. Hello, official NFL poet. I think, oh, but is it art? Hello, but is it art? $5, Torrential Rage. Here's some Kofefe. I'm taking a week off of Kofefe. I'm trying to reset my Kofefe. Look at this dog. Look at this dog. Are you seeing that? Holy shit. Max. What are you doing? He looked at me. He's got like blood in his mouth. You can't see that. But this dog. Holy crap. But yeah, so I'm taking a week off of coffee. I'm taking a week off of marijuana. And so it's going to be very interesting. One thing that those of you who might not know this, might not know, is marijuana impacts your ability to recall your dreams. It also makes your dreams much less vivid. So I'm taking a week off of marijuana. I'm taking a week off of coffee. Just because, why not? Like, I might as well do both at once. What could possibly go wrong, right? But because I've been taking so little marijuana over the last, like, 3 or 4 days, you know, my ability to dream is, like, you know, back in its more, like, developed state. And that's pretty fun. So I'm already at the school of 71531. You probably learn more in an average stream of mine than you would ever in a college classroom. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. I'm not trying to make myself sound like I'm a hyper-intellectual, like I'm an intellectual titan of, you know, in the field of intellectuals. I'm not trying to do that. I mean, Max, holy shit! Do you mind? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Do you mind? Max, do you mind? Uh-oh, pause up. Max got his pause up. Hello. Say hello to the stream, Max. Say hello. Oh, say hello. This is Max the dog. Oh, you're so nice. Look at this dog. This dog has slept like a rock. Oh, right next to me. This dog slept like a rock right next to me. Throughout my whole dreaming experience. Oh, you're sitting. You're sitting. Oh, look at this doggy. I can't. Oh. Ow. You fucking got my flesh with your tooth, you weirdo. Are you trying to eat me alive? Are you trying to slobber me up and then eat me alive? Is that your plan? Is that your plan, Max? Oh. What's Max killing there? I think it's a squid. I can, like, print out a picture of Jimmy Dore on it, though, if you want. Max the dog finally caught that squirrel. Do not go down there, Max. Do not go down there. I don't want you to break anything, buddy. That's where all the cables are, underneath the desk. Max, you don't have to do that. I know you're excited. Look at this guy's tail. Can you see it? Like, you can see it, right? Like, look at this guy's tail. Look at him. This is a dog. Look at this dog. Like, this dog is just, like, a part of my life right now. Like, isn't that incredible? Like, do you ever think about, like, how, like, incredible certain things are? Like, this dog is literally just a part of my life. That was painful. I need to get his fucking toenails clipped. Motherfucking guy, I'm bleeding. I'm just gonna shove my hand down my pants real quick to make sure I'm not bleeding. Ow, motherfucker. Okay, I'm not bleeding. Alright, we're good. I don't know what this guy is. He's a mutt. And, the original owner was kind of abusive, so, we don't really know. He might have shepherd in him. He looks like it, but I don't know. I might take a DNA test. I should crowdsource that. How much does a dog DNA test cost? Does anyone want to pay for for Max to be analyzed? Hello, Matthew Tulip. Are you talking to me or the dog? Hello, Tim. Hello, Joe Chen. Hello, Jacob. All these fucking people with normal names. And then, of course, last but not least, Bob. Oh my god. Oh. Operation Grift Part 3. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to start Part 2 today, but I forgot. You know, I woke up late. So I was going to start Operation Grift Part 2 today, but I forgot. So we'll do it tomorrow. Why not both? That's a good question. All right. So again, I don't really have like a news lineup for today. I'm just gonna like sift through Twitter and Google News and then find something that looks interesting. Some New York Times and CNN shit. You know, we all gotta do it every now and then. Every now and then we gotta see what the New York Times is said. Like, you know, every once in a while, right? You know, like, I mean, you know, like, you know. So, man, Max is going nuts. See that dog? That fucking dog, man. Holy shit. Skip Part 2 and go straight to Part 3. That helps with the grift, adds mystery. That's actually really funny. GME, bloody crashing again. I'm still holding. Don't fucking let go, Suzanne. Don't let go. They want you to fuck around. They want you to think that it's over. They want you to think that the squeeze is never going to happen. Don't let go. Also, what's Doge doing right now? Let me look at my Doge. Gotta check out my Doge. My Doge is pretty good. My Doge has gone up. Y'all should sell fucking GameStop and get into Doge is what you should do. Holy Macintosh. Wow. It's not actually... It's, you know, it's about the same as it was when I went to sleep. But, you know, GameStop isn't, so fuck you. I win, you lose. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm technically a shareholder of GameStop as well. I have, you know, of course, GameStop has a lot of technicality to it. And as such, I am technically a shareholder. But I'm more interested in AMC. What's AMC at right now? Is that crashing? What's going on? Whoa. Whoa. It went all the way up to it opened at $17? Are you joking? Wow. AMC? That's the good stuff, let me tell you. How old is Max? Like, I think around 6. We don't really know, though. Yeah, if you're a cat person, I mean, I appreciate you for showing up, but you could just go ahead and unsubscribe. Lovia says, Tim Pool said that both Pence and Sanders are part of the establishment. What does that even mean? Wow. Alright, so I've got this article from the New York motherfucking Times. And the headline is very bizarre. So I'm gonna see if I can get... Wow. Okay. So apparently police are out here pepper spraying little girls. I'm just going through this, going through this body cam footage, see if I can find anything interesting. It says part 1 of 2. What does that mean?
I just gotta talk. I'm not in trouble. Come here. Come here. Stop. You're not in trouble. Come here.
Hold on. So this is apparently something that happened.
Come here.
So? I'm reading this for the first time as you are. So?
Come here.
What on earth?
Freezing out.
What is it? Who is this person talking to?
No!
Stop.
Is that a kid?
Stop.
No!
Stop. 247.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read this article first. So apparently the Rochester police pepper sprayed a 9-year-old girl, footage shows. Alright, so I'll look at that a little bit more. But the police department in Rochester, New York released body cam footage on Sunday that showed a 9-year-old girl being handcuffed and pepper sprayed by police officers who had responded to a family disturbance call. During the incident, which occurred Friday afternoon, officers restrained the girl, pushing her into the snow in order to handcuff her while she screamed repeatedly for her father, the footage shows. At one point, an officer said, "You're acting like a child." She responded, "I am a child." Oh my fucking god. When she refused to sit inside a police car, an officer pepper sprayed her. The incident brought renewed scrutiny to the Rochester Police Department, months after the city was roiled by the disclosure that Daniel Prude, a black man, suffocated to death last year after Rochester police officers had placed him in a hood. Literally just killed him for no reason. I don't know if y'all remember that, but you should. The handling of Mr. Prude's death prompted the city mayor to abruptly fire the police chief in September, and the department faced accusations of a cover-up after it was revealed that the officers had characterized Mr. Prude's death as a result of a drug overdose. Doesn't that sound familiar? Okay, so I'm just gonna what is this?
I am not.
I got her.
I love how they censor these people.
Get off me.
I'm not gonna get off. What is going on? How can I help? No,
I don't want to get out.
Harris, you're not gonna run away from me, okay? Because I'm gonna have to chase you, okay? And I got like 6 other cars coming to chase you.
I don't care.
All right?
I don't care.
Well, come and talk to me, please.
No, I don't want to.
Here. What is going on? What did you tell your mom? What did you tell your mom?
I'm not going.
Huh?
I'm not going.
Huh?
I'm not going.
That's fine. But what did you tell your mom?
What?
What happened? Why are you so upset?
She stabbed my dad.
Who did? She did? Okay.
My lip. No, it was not, because when he walked in the house, he was holding his stomach. It was my blood. How the hell? So your lip gonna be all out to your stomach, to your pants.
Who's your dad?
Who's your dad?
Who's your dad?
Talking about. Look at you.
Who's your dad?
That was your blood? Of your lip? That much blood? Yes, he had me in the headlock. You finna really make you do.
Ma'am.
You look in the
Come to
house.
my car, let's
When he
talk.
walked
It's
in the
free
house, he was holding. Okay, so your lip.
So I'm confused where part 2 of 2 is, because the New York Times doesn't link to a part 2, and this is unlisted. So that's what I'm very confused about.
His blood. He had me in the headlock.
I'm not.
They gonna find
Here,
you.
just come with me in my car, right?
You're lying. I'm not lying. First of all, Stevie, you gonna bring your ass to this motherfucking house, and I'm gonna ask you one. You gonna bring your ass to this house before I yoke your ass up and drag you home. I got custody. You're my child. So you gonna take your ass home right now, and you gonna take your ass in the house. Go to fucking house now.
I mean, okay, so I've dealt with, like, you know, just on a personal level, I've dealt with this situation where I get into a fight with my mom, and I'd, like, run outside the house. Now, my mom never called 911 on me, right? So I've never been in that situation, but I can't possibly imagine. Right now, I've been in a situation, again, my mom, not the greatest mother, right? But, like, I cannot possibly imagine my mom ever doing something like this person in front of a police officer. I mean, it's really bizarre. And again, the police officer is, like, treating the child like they're evil or something, when it's very clear that the mother is just being abusive, like, right in front of her. So, I mean, that's my takeaway. Now, again, I'm just, you know, maybe I'm biased here. I don't know.
Come on. Man,
I wish you might.
If you want my help, just get up.
I wish you might.
Stop.
Who the fuck is you talking to like that? Get her away. Who the fuck is you talking to like that? Who the fuck is you talking to like that? No.
Come on, you gotta come with me. You gotta come with me.
Who the fuck is you talking to like that?
Come on, dear. All right, listen, do me a favor. Go back to the house. All right? Dear, you're not running away from me. You're not running away. Come on.
Can I help ya?
Come on. Can I help ya? Can I help you? Come on.
Can I help you?
All right, let's go. Stop. Enough.
Can I help you?
Enough.
And you can suck my dick. And you can suck my dick. And you can suck my dick. What's up?
Enough.
Don't say shit pussy about me. What up?
Come on, stop. Stop.
What up? Get out the car. Get out the car. Right, you still talking. Let me go. Still talking.
Yeah, Mom's trying to start a fight with cars driving by now, so get a couple cars down.
Like, I just, like, the idea that they're not, like, again, right, like, I'm just, like, watching this for, like, you know, obviously I wouldn't want the police to be in this situation, but the mother is clearly extremely unstable, and the child is, like, fearing for, like, her life, like, because, like, her mom is, like having a temper tantrum, like, and, you know, so it's, like, it's very bizarre to me. This is a bizarre video. I wish there was a part 2 that was released.
Stop. Put her in your car.
No.
Stop.
I want my dad.
You gotta tell this officer.
I want my dad. I'm not going nowhere. I want my dad.
247, we don't need you here. Hey! Get back in your house!
No! I want my dad!
I'm not gonna run off.
I want my dad!
Stop.
I want my dad! I'm not getting no car! I want my dad! I want my dad! No!
Can we talk about how the cop, like, dropped the body camera and, like, tried to kick it under the car and failed? Like, I just, like, that's, like, the police behavior that's very, 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 you gotta analyze this shit. The cop unequipped the body camera and tried, but failed to kick it underneath the car. Are you joking?
I want my dad!
Stop.
I want my dad! I'm not getting no car! I want my dad! I want my dad! No!
That was intentional. You can't tell me that's not intentional.
Stop! Oh my God! Okay. Wait, my mom, she's pregnant though.
You done?
My mom pregnant. Oh yeah, please
stop.
Let me go. Oh, give me a please. I want my dad, please.
Pause for SRR. Mom's still trying
Wait,
to fight.
please. You gonna help my mom? She's pregnant. You gonna help my mom? She's pregnant. Please.
Let's go. Get up.
I want my dad.
Get up.
I want my dad.
This is so fucking weird.
I want my dad.
Like, I just, like, I'm trying to figure out right now a context where this is acceptable. Like, I'm just trying to, like, figure out, like, why are the cops there? What do the cops think they're doing? Are they arresting the 9-year-old? And for what? Like, I don't understand. Are they trying to make it so she doesn't run away? Why aren't they trying to find where her father is? Like, this is so bizarre that they're treating a 9-year-old like she's, like, a fucking, like, you know, like a criminal. Like, she just mass murders people. You know, but, like, this is bizarre. They're, like, dragging her across the fucking ground? Like, jeez.
I want my dad!
I got one car out here.
And then, of course, conveniently, the body camera is just off. Presumably up until this point, so. Again, you can't tell me that oops, I accidentally dropped the body camera and accidentally kicked it over so it's on the ground, and then I accidentally kicked it under the car. I have watched so many of these body camera like videos of police trying to kill people, right? There was one where they killed someone in a supermarket, and then like one of the other officers was like, is that thing on? And then like they literally took the body camera off and then like they kicked like a fucking like, you know, like a product in the supermarket on top of the body camera, and then they just started walking away from the body camera, and it's like, what? You know, it's like these people, like, I just, like, you cannot tell me that's not intentional.
Mom's ready to take mom to jail too.
Okay, but you need to get warm.
Yeah.
They're so, like, again, what, like, they're treating this 9-year-old like she's, like, fucking, like, a mass murderer. They've got more police cars here than they would have if they, like, were responding to a mass murder. Look at the amount of police cars. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6 fucking police cars. Are you joking?
Get in the car. I'm done telling you. Get in the car. Get in the car. Force out.
Was that pepper spray that they used?
You got a rig stage.
Can we talk about, look at all these maskless fucking pigs. Can we talk about this? This is in the state of New York. This isn't like fucking Idaho. This isn't like fucking South Carolina. This is the state of New fucking York. Isn't there a mask mandate in this state? And they're all maskless fucking pigs. Like, look at them. Look, they look disgusting.
You got a rig stage.
Look at when the body camera. Look, you can see them all. They, look at me. Like, look at these fucking grotesque, disgusting fucking buckets of scum. Look at these fucking freak shows. I say, this is my policy proposal for this video. I say we round up all the cops in the country and throw them in a fucking carnival. Like, have like a traveling circus that goes around the country, and then you see all the freak shows jump through hoops. Woo! They do like they jump through the hoop, and then their dumb, like, fucking disgusting body, like, fucking flops on the hoop, and then they fall out. Like, I want to see these fucking carnival freak show motherfuckers for what they really are. They're not police. They're not upholders of authority. They're not trying to keep people safe. They're attacking a child when, to my understanding earlier in the video, the mother is clearly also unstable, right? But they're not trying to apprehend her as well. They're not trying to, like, diffuse the situation. They're just, like, letting her scream at the child and abuse the child in front of them while they attack the child. Like, what?
Alright, just keep him station for a minute.
Brett, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just need a neighborhood check.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna read the rest of this article. That is fucking bizarre. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that a 9-year-old, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that for a 9-year-old to have been pepper sprayed is okay, said the Rochester police chief, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? They're going to lose their job. The city's mayor, Lovely Warren, by the way, interesting first name, said the girl reminded her of her own 10-year-old daughter. I can tell you that this video, as a mother, is not anything you want to see, Miss Warren said, her voice rising with emotion. Well, I don't her voice rising with emotion. Like, see what they do here? See what they do here? Again, this is the New York Times here. Oh! The mayor! The person in charge of the police, the mayor was so emotional. Oh! She has a daughter as well! Oh! And then they're going to try to cover this up. That's what they do. They say, oh yeah, the mayor cares. The mayor cares about this, for sure. Yeah! Absolutely. What, are you kidding me? Of course she cares. Yeah! And then a couple months from now, we're just going to forget about this, right? Like, that's how this works. This is not something that any of us should want to justify, can justify, she added. And it is something we have to change. Well, hello? The police just murdered a fucking person, like, last year, and you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything when they murdered someone, choked them to death, and asphyxiated them, right? You didn't do anything. Oh, I fired the police chief and told them to stop it. Well, clearly that didn't work, you dumb fuckface bitch. So again, this is what they do. This is what they... Oh, we have to be better. Oh, why are we so bad? We have to be better. As mayor, I'm going to cry on a press conference and then go back into my office and then swipe the sweat off of my brow and say, damn, I dodged a bullet there. Let's get to work, everybody. That's what we're gonna do. We're not going to do anything because I'm just going to go cry at a press conference and make it look like I care when I really don't. Like, seriously, like, she and police officials urged the city's police officers to respond to incidents with more empathy and compassion. Oh, yeah, we're just going to tell them. Yeah, that's a good idea. Not, I don't know, fire all of the cops and bring new ones in with a completely reformatted training regimen. No. No, we're just going to say, remember, like, in the 2016 primary, when Bernie Sanders was talking about Hillary Clinton's Wall Street speeches and the paid speeches that she had, right? From like Goldman Sachs or whatever. And then Hillary Clinton was like, I walked all the way down there and then they gave me $100,000 and I wagged my finger and I said, stop it. You better stop it. And then I took their $100,000 and I went back home. And then I said, they gotta cut it out. And then guess what? They didn't. Like, so it's like, what? Like, you gotta be more empathetic. And then that's it. There's no, like, you know, you're not gonna fire the cops that were clearly identified. Nah. You're not gonna, like, I don't know, give them paid vacation. You know, at least get them off the force for, like, a couple weeks. Nah. Just, you gotta be a better person, young man. That's not how you respond to situations like this, you know. Like a fucking grandmother telling their child or their grandchild to like fucking wash their hands before supper. That's what this shit is. Jesus fucking Christ. Saying that officers needed better training and de-escalation. What does that mean? Okay, I'm mayor of a city, right? I'm mayor. I'm not like fucking bitch ass McGee's axe, like fucking like just a random citizen going into a press conference. I'm the mayor of this motherfucking city. Yes. Officers need to be trained in de-escalation. Well, what are you gonna do about it, dumbass? Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, I just like, what? Okay, they need to be trained in de-escalation. Great. And this is why I'm announcing that I'm going to, like, you know, like, what? Like, they better cut it out, or otherwise I'm gonna go on another press conference, and then I'm gonna cry again, and then do nothing again. Otherwise, I'm gonna cry. My God, what a racket this is. The incident highlighted the long-standing problem that in many police departments, officers are trained to subdue violent suspects and often are poorly equipped to deal with people who are distraught or mentally ill. Violent suspects? A 9-year-old is a violent suspect? What? Well, we gotta make sure we pepper spray and fucking attack and destroy and drag this child across the fucking dirt and snow. Right? Like, this child has snow all over her bare skin because they dragged her through the fucking snow, right? That can cause, like, fucking, like, you know, that can cause a lot of medical problems. like having your bare skin fucking pressed up against an extremely cold environment for an extended period of time. But they're not going to do anything. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying motherfuck. Jesus motherfucking Christ, man. On Friday afternoon, officers received a 911 call for reporting a family trouble and arrived to find the 9-year-old girl dressed in a black hoodie. Oh, a black hoodie. It's almost like it's fucking winter. A black hoodie. Oh no. It's almost like it's fucking like minus 10 degrees outside. How dare you wear a black hoodie? What are you selling, drugs, kid? You selling drugs? Why do you got that hoodie on? What? My God. She indicated that she wanted to kill herself and she wanted to kill her mom, Deputy Police Chief Andrea Anderson said on Sunday. Guess what? If my mom were beating the shit out of me, I would want to kill her too. I was raised in, you might, wow, shocker, right? But I've been raised in a very dysfunctional family, right? I've said that I wanted to kill my mom several times when we got into fucking arguments. She said she wanted to kill me. I've said I wanted to kill her, right? We've been in those situations. We've never had cops involved, thank God. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened, right? But again, this is just like, obviously it should not happen, but this is part of what it is to be in a dysfunctional family. And this is like one of those things where like, we need to reorganize society as a whole, like a grand reorganization to prevent dysfunctional families from even happening in the first place, right? If people had adequate housing, people had adequate like food security, if they had adequate mental health care, in this country, they would be a lot more mentally stable. They would not, get into fights and call the cops on their 9-year-old child. Right? Like, this is a child. Like, I get it if there's like, I don't actually, but like, I understand like the situation if it's like two like 30-year-old grown men or whatever. But this is a 9-year-old child and a pregnant woman. Like, this isn't like, like what? And they got 6 motherfucking cop cars? My God. The girl initially tried running away. I would too. I would try to run away too. If my mom tried to kill me, and I said my mom's trying to kill me to the cops, and their first reaction is to try to fucking like, like grapple me and try to murder me. Like, if I'm 9 years old, right? And I just like saw over the course of the last year, right? Cops killing people on television, all over the news, all day, every day, for like the last fucking like summer of her life. Like, she's 8 or 9 at that point. And she knows that cops kill people like her. So I would run the fuck away too if I were in her position. If I saw 6 motherfucking cop cars rolling up, I'd get the fuck out of there. I don't know where I would go. She probably didn't know where she would go. But I would get the fuck out of there if I were her. My God. I want my dad, as the officers handcuffed her. She pleaded with them to stop, her body covered in snow, the video footage showed. The officers tried to escort her into the back of a police car so that she could be transported to the hospital, Mr. Anderson said. Distressed and emotional, the girl said she did not want to enter the car until she saw her dad, the video showed. The officers grew increasingly impatient and stern. She kicked one of the officers, Mr. Anderson. Oh! The 9-year-old kicked me! Now I know that I'm wearing an extremely thick uniform with multiple layers. I know I'm a grown man. But a 9-year-old kicked me! Oh! Ah! Like, it's not like maybe, she was flailing, right? It's not like she was just trying to move all of her body parts to stop being imprisoned, right? No. No. She purposefully went out of her way to kick an officer. That's what this New York Times are. Again, this is why I read the New York Times, because you got to know that this is the way they report this shit. This is why you get brain dead fucking liberals going like, well, if the girl didn't kick the cop, then nothing would have happened. You see brain dead liberals do that shit all the time. All the time they try to come up with those excuses. And why do they come up with those excuses? Because the way that they hear about these stories is from people like the New York fucking Times. That's why they come up with these dumb fuck excuses. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Other officers urged her to relax and take a deep breath. Wow. Hey, my job's done. I told the 9-year-old to take a deep breath. That's it. Where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck? I told the kid to take a deep breath. Hello, I did my job, right? So it's okay that I pepper sprayed this girl and exposed her to, sub-zero temperatures. That's fine. Because I told her to take a deep breath. I did my duty. I did my job. Right? Like, that's what these people are thinking. Finally, an officer says, just spray her at this point. She screamed after an officer sprayed her in the face with an irritant. A fucking irritant! An irritant! What is an irritant? Like, what's an irritant? Like a mosquito bite. That's an irritant. A fucking irritant! A mosquito bite is an irritant, dude. Splashing water on my face would be an irritant. You know what I mean? If you were to splash water on my face, I would be pretty irritated. I would be fucking irate if someone splashed water on my face in sub-zero temperatures, right? But no, it's pepper spray. Something that can cause permanent eye damage, especially when someone is still developing. Most humans don't develop from the age of 9 onward with fucking capsaicin shoved into their fucking irises. Oh, it's an irritant. It's not pepper spray. No, it's an irritant. Fucking Christ. The officers placed her in the back seat and shut the door. Unbelievable, an officer said. Not unbelievable that we just pepper sprayed a child. No. It's unbelievable that I had to do this. All I wanted to do was just sit in my patrol car and eat donuts and bagels all day. And then this kid had to go and have a family emergency. Gosh darn it. It's unbelievable. Remember, I read a story a couple days ago of a cop shooting and murdering an 18-year-old boy who is currently going through a schizophrenic episode. His last word, right before he fired the gun, was, "I don't have time for this shit." By the way, they found out that he was on drugs. The cop was on drugs when he did that. So a plainclothes cop went into the house of a family emergency, said, "I don't have time for this shit," was on drugs, and shot and killed an 18-year-old currently going through a schizophrenic episode. Right? These cops, it's all about their personal fee-fees. It's all about like, oh, I'm just in a bad mood. And they're always in a bad mood. If you've ever been around police officers, you know they're always in a bad mood. I've had police officers in my family before. They're garbage. Some of the most abusive and disgusting pieces of shit that I've ever had personal interactions with were police officers in my family. They're garbage. They're shit for brains, like unempathetic cocksucking scoundrels. They're not even human. I do not classify police as human. Now, could they maybe be human with some medical intervention? Maybe. But again, the goal and the role of the police in this country is to cull the population of undesirables. A 9-year-old girl who had a family emergency, take her to fucking jail. Get her out of here. She's a danger to everyone. It's not the mother, right? It's not like, the family. It's the 9-year-old girl's fault for being a child. The scene played out in front of the homes in an area that appeared to be a residential neighborhood. The video showed at least 6 police vehicles that had arrived to respond to the call. The girl was transported to the hospital and has since been released. Well, she's been released. Wow, congratulations. They released her after they abused and tortured her. She got released. There you go. All harm, all harm is now gone. They released her. She got released, so everything's good now. What? Jesus Christ. But, this is the absolute state of this fucking country. Jesus Christ. My Lord. I've never met a pig who is in any way a decent human being. They're all assholes. Absolutely. Fuck cops. One of the reasons why I hate cops so much is because I've had personal interactions with family members that are cops. And maybe I'll go more in depth in those experiences later, but Like, again, the most abusive and disgusting and negligent and evil people that I've ever met in my family have been police officers. So, I mean, like, a police officer, reminder, 40% of police officers, this is self-reported data, by the way, 40% of police officers are domestic abusers, right? So it's, and that's only self-reported. That's only what, you know, the people they abuse report in confidence, right? But again, I've had personal family members that are police officers. And again, I don't want to get too much into that because, you know, it's very private and personal, and maybe I'll do so at a later point. But they are, again, the most disgusting people I've ever met. Like, they ignore and neglect their own family, right? They are abusive to their own family. Like, even in like, they're just disgusting. And the worst part about these people is they have this, like, sense of ego where it's like, I'm the good guy. They've got main character syndrome. Cops have main character syndrome. And I know this because, again, I've had family members that are cops. And these motherfuckers have main character syndrome. They think that everything they do is, oh, I'm the hero in the story. I'm a hero. No, you're not a hero, you dumb motherfucker. You're the villain. You're a freak show. You're at best an irrelevant and annoying side character. You are not the main fucking character, asshole. I hate cops. I fucking hate them. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get onto some other news here to, you know, there's some other stuff I can talk about. Again, this morning I kind of was a little late, so I'm just like scrolling through like what's trending on the Google News feed. So, and this is, you know, this was the first thing I saw, so. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Abso-fucking-lutely. Law enforcement runs deep in my family. My conscience is why I couldn't do it. I mean, that's another thing as well, is they like, especially when it comes to family. Like, how many times have you seen these cop shows where it's like, oh, my dad was a cop and now I'm doing him proud. What? Like, what? You know what I mean? Mr. Mudd has sent me a video. Let's watch this video live. With no context. Oh, is this Robin Hood? Hell yes. Alright, back in the Robin Hood saga. Alright, so I don't know what this is. I was sent this video. I don't know what this is. Let's watch.
Maybe you're learning here. Maybe it's fun. Fine. Maybe it's a movement. But be prepared to lose 80 to 90% of it. And if it's still worth it, then have at it. But the biggest loss of capital here will be the human capital of young men who are sitting and staring at their phone and watching the price of Bitcoin or the price of AMC. And ask yourself, would you be better off taking that 1, 2, or 3 hours a day and working out, trying to form relationships with mentors, with romantic relationships, with people at work, getting great at something so you can be the person on the other side of the trade. The greatest loss in capital here is from young men who are more prone to gambling.
Okay, wait. Okay, so so the way to get good at day trading is by not day trading. That's what this guy just said. What? Instead of day trading, you should go out and find a romantic relationship, and then maybe you'll be on the other side of that day trade. What? Like, I understand the point. It's a bad point. It's a dumb point of like, oh, you can do other things rather than day trading. I get that point. But then he has to pepper in at the very end. It's like, oh yeah, and then if you do all these other things, and then you'll just be better at day trading for some reason. What?
With romantic relationships, with people at work, getting great at something so you can be the person on the other side of the trade. The greatest loss in capital here is from young men who are more prone to gambling addiction, who don't understand the markets. I think we are setting ourselves up similar to how there's a ton of young women out there who became very depressed by sitting in their rooms looking at Instagram. Self-cutting and self-harm skyrocket. I think you are going to see an explosion in young male depression, and I think a lot of it is going to be reverse engineered to apps that convince you you're part of a movement or physically addict you to your phone. Ask yourself, Would your time staring at Robinhood be better spent somewhere else? That is the real capital destruction that is taking place here.
So, okay, I just want to say, I agree with the grand point of, yeah, we should probably not be looking at our phones all day. And that's it. That's where my agreement ends. Like, guess what? I'm a shareholder in GameStop. I'm a shareholder in AMC. I've just recently filed a petition to AMC. Hey, I'm a shareholder. Give me some hot sauce popcorn. I want to go to the movies and eat popcorn with hot sauce. That's what I said. As a shareholder in AMC, I'm making my voice known, right? But you know what else I don't do? I don't stare at my phone all day. I've been invested in cryptocurrency. I've been invested in cryptocurrency for 4 years. You know what I don't do? I don't stare at my phone all day. Maybe sometimes, you know, when like there's some big price action, right? But I've held Bitcoin for 4 years. I've held Bitcoin when it was $3,000. I've held Bitcoin when it's $40,000, okay? And even when it was rising all the way up to 40,000, I still didn't even look at my phone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I look at my phone and go like, oh, wow, okay, Bitcoin's 38K. Interesting. And then I go do something else. Now, maybe that's just because I'm specifically a little bit more mentally healthy than some other people. Maybe that's the case. Right? But, like, what is this garbage? And can we talk about how this guy is, like he's talking to, like, a corner. Like, like, when you're so, like, you know, emotional that you can't even, you're just like, I just need to get these words out, man. I just need to get these words out. God, man. Like what? Like, what? Man, thank you, Muncho, for sending that to me. That was really funny. What the fuck? Whew. I'm just like, what? It's bizarre stuff. Where the fuck do these people... Do they grow them in a lab? Yes, they do. Yes, they grow them in a lab. They fucking do. Oh my god. I like bizarre clips. Oh man. He was slowly pooping. Oh my god. He was slowly... I've been there. Tell me about it. I mean, the way you say that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. He's got that, like, red furrowed brow. He's, like, extremely physically distraught. Like, that's so good. Oh, God. Oh, God. Wow. Anyway, again, I want to just, you know, a lot more people are here. Hello, Bob Carmody. Hello, Zero, Pain Elemental. Hello, Will D. Hello, Seppu Crow. Hello, Joe Chen Spalding. Hello, Jira Brown. But yeah, so I woke up a little bit late. So my show is a little bit less, like, usually I've got, like, a notepad, and I've got, like, the stories I want to cover in a specific order, and, you know, but I woke up at, like, 9:46, so it's like, oops, right? So I didn't have much of a time to you know, prepare, but I hope this is a decent show nonetheless. So, for those of you that don't know, this morning I woke up at 6 a.m., and I was like, damn. I felt really good. I had a decent dream. I'm going to go back to sleep for another 90 minutes because the average REM cycle is 90 minutes. You know, ish, you know, maybe 145, you know, it depends on the person. So I'm like, I'm going to go back to sleep for 90 minutes, turn the alarm on, and my dream that I had was so intense. It was so incredibly intense that I ended up sleeping for 3 hours. So I had 2 full REM cycles. And by the time I woke up, it was like 9:40 something, 9:50 something, and I'm like, whoa. So I didn't really get any prep time here, but you know, that's okay. Ben Sorofman, from my perspective, cops being bad is to do with the system role of cops in America, which is what makes them all bad/bastards. Even if individuals can be good, they are oppressors. Abso-motherfucking-lutely. Did I dream about garlic-flavored fluids? I dreamed about garlic, but unfortunately there was no fluids associated with it, but we'll work on that for tonight. I think Max accidentally hits you with his teeth when he licks because his depth perception is off. Oh yeah, he's got cataracts, so he can barely fucking see. Guy's a blind-ass motherfucking dog. Maxie! Max! He's licking himself. He's licking himself, frickin' dog. Oh, here he is. He's done licking. Everybody, it's Max the dog. It's Max the dog. It's Max the dog. Bodan, I'm going to do so again this week because I'm taking a break from marijuana. And marijuana impacts your ability to dream. Look at this dog. Yo, this dog makes me cry. He's just so beautiful. You're just so good. Oh. Look at him. My girlfriend is only watching because of Max. Hello. Hello. Look at him. Like, can you believe this animal is just a part of my life? Oh. Can you believe it? Like 2 months ago, there was no Max. And then my roommate's like, hey, my friend's dad or whatever is moving and wants to get rid of his dog. And so I offered, you know, to watch him for a couple months until he can, like, get Max back. And I'm like, okay. And then I start walking Max, and then Max is obsessed with me, and now Max is my dog. I'm not giving him back. Do you mind, Max? Do you mind? You don't have to abuse me with your... Oh. Max is my dog. I've claimed ownership of this precious being. I love watching Max try to, like, balance himself on my thighs. That's what he does right there. It really hurts, but he, like, really tries to balance himself on my thighs and then, like, not fall over, and sometimes he does. I don't know if y'all noticed that. And so I love what he's trying to back up, and he's trying to figure out how to get one paw from this thigh to this thigh, and he keeps missing, and then he gets it, and then as soon as he gets it, he's like, I got it, and then he jumps backwards. Carla, as far as I understand, affects versus effects. Effects are like, you know, for example, the effects of marijuana, right? Versus marijuana affects your ability to, etc. Right? So it's like, I think it's like the verb versus, you know, I think it's like a form of speech sort of thing. So that's my little tip there. But yeah, weed, especially if you smoke before bed. If you're a wake and baker and you just, you know, smoke a joint in the morning and that's it, you'll be fine. But like, well, you know, relatively, it depends on how high you get, obviously. Like, if you're still high by the time you get to bed, you know. But marijuana affects your short-term memory. That's why you might notice that you forget, like, if you, like, are, you know, say you put your phone down somewhere when you're high, and it's like, whoa, where's my phone? And, you know, like, it affects your short-term memory. What do you mean by pot? Is it some kind of drug? My fucking god. Bodan, you're so precious. I love you, man. Holy shit. Fucking, what do you mean by pot? Is it some kind of drug? I love Bodan, dude. Oh, this guy is so good. Yes, pot means marijuana. It means weed. It's, you know, there's a lot of slang terms. But, yeah, so marijuana affects your short-term memory. And so if you smoke before bed, right, it might help you get to sleep, but it'll impact your ability to dream, because the ability to dream is a lot to do with your short-term memory and that kind of complex in your brain. So, for example, the last time I had any weed or so was, like, Saturday? No, Friday. Yeah, Friday. And so, like, I'm starting to be, like, at the point where I'm detoxified so much that, like, I'm able to dream relatively well. And last night, that hit me like a truck. And I've also been doing some mushroom microdosing. So that's, I feel like, having effects on my dreams. That I'm very interested in, the effects on lucid dreaming. I'm gonna look that in. I'm gonna look that up probably later today. See if I can find any interesting stuff on that. Because almost every single time I've done mushrooms, I've been also doing marijuana, and so I haven't noticed anything up until last night. So there might be a hidden cheat code in there somewhere. I hate when I walk into a room and forget why. Oh man, I love cooking while I'm high on weed, because like I walk into the kitchen and I just spin until I figure out what I want. Like I just look around, I'm like, and then I get dizzy and I'm like, wait a second, why am I even in here? And then I leave the kitchen and forget to eat. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's all good, Bodan. It's all good. I'm just, it's adorable. Like, that message, like, what is pot? Is that some kind of drug? It's just an adorable message, I just want to, like, hug Bodan right now. Like, but that's just me. Anyway, I've got some other stuff on Politico that I thought would be interesting to read. But this is a really long article. I don't know if I want to read that, so I'm not going to read it. It's really long, and I don't care enough. I've got an article from CNN that looks interesting. This might be funny, so I'm just gonna get through it, and we'll see how it goes. Go to a cow pasture and start picking. Oh my god. I miss being able to afford weed. Yo, same. Just kidding. I just want to say, now that January is over, ow, I just fucking cut the shit out of my ear. Alright, no blood, we're good. So now that January is over, I want to talk about how January was my most profitable, best earning month in the history of my YouTube channel. And it means a lot. So in December, I made, let's say, X. And in January, I made X times 3.5 so far. And January 31st still has yet to be processed. It usually takes like 36 hours to process the ad revenue and all the transaction revenue and stuff. But so far, without the processing of the last couple, actually January 30th and 31st. So as of that, I've already made 3.5 times what I made in December. So like, now what that means for me is that I don't have to worry about any health-related issues when it comes to money. I don't have to worry about paying my rent. I don't have to worry about the lights being shut off, which has happened many, many times in the last year. Don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about food anymore. I don't have to worry about buying weed, though I am taking a break from weed, so I don't have to worry about that anyway. So I just want to say, like, I appreciate everyone who, supports me, if you just watch my stream, or if you give me super chats, if you give me money on PayPal. And again, the YouTube thing doesn't even factor in PayPal. So a lot of people have been giving me money on PayPal, which, by the way, I appreciate that more than super chats, because super chats, I only get an 80%-ish cut. PayPal, I get 100%. So that's the whole thing. And so that combined would make my monthly income go from, like, if December is X, then January is like X times 4.5 or something. Because y'all have been very, very nice to me. Misery, I literally just did like a 40-minute segment on it. So rewind or wait for the clip to come out. But yeah, I did already talk about that. So again, I don't have to worry about like anything as far as my immediate financial concerns. And I have never been, well, outside of like a very interesting period of my life where I didn't have my life figured out, but I got like, I'll tell y'all about the Stream Me era again at some point. But I was paid by like a company I was paid like thousands of dollars by a company to stream on their website. And, but at that point in my life, I didn't have my life figured out. So like the money was kind of useless in a way for me. But now at this point, I kind of have my life figured out. And so, since I've had my life figured out, this is the first time I've been even in any capacity financially secure. Like, I have enough money to cover like 2 to 3 months worth of what I would need to spend money on, like just right now. So that's incredible to me. And if this keeps up, if I like, let's say February is, I get more money throughout February than I did in January, which I don't know. Is it possible? Maybe. I'm not sure. But you know, my like long-term goals are, I want to do, especially when this pandemic is over, I want to do a lot of like in-person stuff. So like I would love to like go to like every major city in the United States and like do like a meetup with all the viewers and stuff. I would love to do like a tour around the country, that kind of a thing. That would be cool. And if anyone would like want to talk about doing that like closer to the time the pandemic's over, I would love to be involved in that situation. Now, again, I would also love to go outside of the country, but that's like, you know, that costs a lot more money. You know what I mean? So it's like, so, yeah. Can I borrow some money? I mean, if anyone ever actually like really needs money from me, like feel free to like hit me up and I'll do what I can. But you know, I try to be a nice person. I had a dream about meeting you in a restaurant. Hell yeah, buddy. The only thing is, am I cooking? Because I'm honestly, I don't know if I'm ever going to go to restaurants again. Like, I just, like, maybe get a salad or something, but, I just don't trust restaurants. Like, they just have, I don't know where the food comes from, and that freaks me out. I would love to go to California. I've never been to California. The only major city the only major cities I've been to, Philadelphia. I was raised and born around Philadelphia, so I've been there a lot when I was a kid. Like going to like, you know, all the attractions and stuff. And then my brother lived in Philadelphia, so I'd go there. And so Philadelphia is the biggest major city I'm familiar with. I've never been to New York. I would love to go to New York. I would absolutely love to go to New York. I lived in Washington, D.C. for a while, so that's the other major city I'm familiar with. But outside of that, I've been to Las Vegas, and that's it. So I've never been anywhere else. I would love to go to like Chicago. I'd love to go to like all the California cities. You know, I'd love to go do that shit. I'm down to like go to like Texas or something. There's a, you know, few cities there where I wouldn't get murdered for being who I am. I think, right? You know, maybe. I wouldn't say the UK is out of the question. It's just, that's a little bit more on the longer horizon. Like, I feel like once the pandemic is over, like, let's assume, like, everyone to the like, I'm vaccinated, and the people that I would be associating with are vaccinated or whatever. At that point, like, at that point, it's just a get up and go sort of a thing. Whereas, like, for Europe, that's like, that requires a lot more planning. That it requires, I'd need like longer term housing plans. I would need a lot more planning. I'd love to go to Minneapolis. That sounds fun. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm feeling. I've also got some other plans that are going to intersect with that a little bit, that will maybe make things a little bit easier, potentially more stressful, but a lot more interesting and entertaining. And I'm not going to talk about that yet, because, you know, for reasons. I'd need a passport before I go anywhere outside of the U.S. I don't have a passport. So maybe I can get one over the next couple months, but that's a whole thing. I gotta do so much before I get a passport, though. Holy shit, we got a fucking moron in this chat room. El Camino, you said Kyle Kalinske with a Y at the end, which is like, okay, hold on, hold the phone. So we got a dumb motherfucker coming into my chat, trying to reference a video I made, like, probably like 3 months ago. Can't even spell the guy's name right. Let's go. Doesn't know what trans people go through because he is a straight white male. Does that mean you have no idea what any minorities go through because you're a white girl? Yes, first of all, yes, I don't know what people that aren't me go through because I'm not them, I'm me. right? Now, the difference in why I criticize Kyle Kulinski is because he doesn't actually care about what trans people go through. He has never cared about what trans people go through. He never looks into that stuff. He also really doesn't care about what anyone who's not white goes through. He barely, like, during the Black Lives Matter protests in the summer, he was making these, like, waffling, middle ground, like, centrist things where, oh, you shouldn't hurt glass windows! He was doing that kind of finger wagging. And so, like, to me, Kyle Kulinski is someone that, one, doesn't know what other people go through, and that's fine, but also doesn't care. And that's the thing that's not fine. Whereas for me, I love bringing other people on my show to talk about their perspectives. I love reading what other people have to say. I try to listen to what other people have to say about things so that I'm as well equipped as I possibly can, given the fact that I at least strive to be a media personality, right? Given the fact that that's my goal, I want to be as adequately equipped as I possibly can in order to understand how other people live and understand the problems and troubles that other people go through. As far as I'm concerned, Kyle Kulinski has never done that. He is extremely popular, right? And he's got the ability to get anyone he's ever wanted on his show, I'm sure. He could probably get thousands of trans people on his show, but he doesn't, right? And so that's the kind of thing here. Not a troll. I actually watch your videos. Thanks for the insult. I'm also a person of color. Nice one ridiculing me with your white privilege. Oh my god. Fuck off. Fuck off, dude. I'm sorry. I actually watch your videos. That's why I've never seen you ever comment on my videos before. Yeah, you watch my videos, and this is the first comment you post? Nice try. Nice try. Make another alt account and try again, you dumb motherfucker. Like, I'm sorry, but again, these are like the dumbo, like, shit for brains motherfuckers, dude. Like, thanks for using your white privilege against me by insulting. First of all, I had no idea what your fucking skin color is. Like, white privilege? If you post something dumb in the chat, I make fun of it. How is that white privilege? What? Like, come on, man. Don't use words if you don't know the definitions. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. Fucking idiot. I give props to Kyle for co-founding Justice Dems. He's tried to make real-life impacts instead of... No, absolutely. Justice Democrats is a great accomplishment. And I'm not, like, trying to say that, like... to be honest with you, only, like, one of the only reasons why I haven't, like, put Kyle Kulinski in the same category as Jimmy Dore on a personal level and the way I commentate is because of Justice Democrats. Like, I know, like, my position on Kyle is I know he can be better, and I feel like, given the right amount of pressure, he could be better, whereas Jimmy Dore, I don't feel like that. Jimmy Dore is a full-on money-making grifter, and that's all he is, and that's all he ever will be, whereas I feel like Kyle is a little bit more amenable to that kind of pushing, because I know, like, 3-4 years ago, he did not like transgender people, really. Right, and I've seen a couple of his videos, and he knows now that he knows a little bit more about trans issues. Not nearly enough, and it's very obvious in his commentary, right? But I feel like this guy is capable of learning, and so that's the kind of position that I'm in when it comes to that. And so, like, if I do make a video critical of Kyle, I would say that I'm making a video critical of Kyle because I want him to be a better person. But another thing with Kyle is his upbringing is, like, I feel like he had, like, a very, like, upper middle class upbringing from when I've watched his show. So it's like, I feel like that does impact a lot of your potential politics. He sort of serves a purpose. I've seen many people say he helped them transition away from the right. No, absolutely. And that's a good thing. That's absolutely a good thing. Kyle has changed, but he's still quite a bro. I mean, yeah, Kyle, like, going on Joe Rogan's show a lot. I get it. You want to be as famous as Joe Rogan. I understand. But when you go on Joe Rogan's show and then use Joe Rogan as, like, a source for your understanding on trans issues, which I saw him do in a video, right? I'm sorry, but it's like, if you're making a video about transgender, like, issues, and you're bringing up Joe Rogan, I'm sorry, but I mean, that's just Jesus Christ. You know, like, you can't do that kind of stuff. That's like if I'm making a video about Black Lives Matter and I cite David Duke as a source of information. It's like, what? Now, I'm not trying to say Joe Rogan is that bad when it comes to trans people, but he's pretty fucking bad. Like, as far as all the major media influencers that have brought about, like, transphobic attacks on me, Joe Rogan is absolutely the number one. Like, that, I have gone after, or, like, you know, talked about a lot of people, and I have never received such disgusting vitriol that I have from Joe Rogan people. Well, besides Trump. Like, obviously besides Trump. That's an obvious exception. But my point here is that Joe Rogan tries to claim he's not, like, a far right-wing psychopath. Well, I mean, I'm just talking about Jeffrey. I'm just talking about making videos. Like, if Joe Rogan says something stupid and I made a video about it, I get a bunch of dude bros coming into my chat. Even if I made a video about Joe Rogan talking about, like, you know, Antifa causing wildfires. Right? And then I got a bunch of people in the comments going like, oh, you're a tranny. That's why you don't like Joe Rogan. And it's like, what? You know, it's like, what? You know, it's like these people are fucking like, they despise transgender people. And it's possible that it could be only the people that like Joe Rogan so much that they have to name search him at all times and find videos with 300 views to go shit on trans people. It's possible that it's just that specific subset. Right? And I'm totally willing to that argument. But I mean, Joe Rogan goes on his show with millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of viewers and says trans people are biological men. He has millions, like tens of millions of views on his podcasts where he calls trans women biological men. And that's just disgusting and it's evil. And it's evil. And so, like, that's, you know, plain and simple. And to me personally, I would not want to associate with that person in any capacity unless I got them to change their mind. And so it's like, if Kyle Kulinski is friends with Joe Rogan, that's what he likes to say. He's friends with Joe. Push him on trans issues. Make him a better person on trans issues. Have him issue a public apology for lying about trans people for years and years and years. But he doesn't do that. Instead, he just associates with Joe Rogan. And then whenever you criticize that, he goes like, guilt by association, cancel culture. Which makes me feel like he's not a serious actor. But again, I don't know. I think Kyle is a good intro for low info libs to the left, but that's about it. I mean, I found Kyle's show when I was a low info, like, fucking, like, socialist leaning edgelord. So it's like, I get it. I understand. But it's like, come on, man. Like, there comes a point where it's like, it's really about stagnation. I feel like he has not learned much over the last couple years. I'm from North Jersey, but not a dude, bro. Citation needed on that one. That's a Venn diagram that's one circle, buddy. I'm just joking. I'm gay, white, and cis, and respect all humans. I mean, that's the way to go. Absolutely. I mean, I'm just saying, like, Kyle's a media personality that gets literally millions of views. Like, if some bitch with fucking, like, 6 viewers is not allowed to make, like, you know, make a comment about him, then there's a problem. Yeah, and him doing that show with Crystal Ball is a huge turnoff. That's a huge turnoff. Like, Crystal Ball, as far as I'm concerned, Crystal Ball is not a good faith actor. Like, she's just not. She's not progressive. She's not a populist, right? And that's, like, my thing with her. She, like, her show Rising, right? Her show Rising is like, oh, Sagar is a right-wing populist. Read fascist. And I'm a left-wing populist. Read liberal. And we're just like, you know, it's like, what? Like, Crystal Ball is a liberal. You know what I mean? Like, she is not a socialist. She is not a communist. She is not an anarchist. She is not a left-wing populist. She is a liberal. So it's like, you've got a liberal and you've got a fascist. And that's the show. Well, good fucking show. I'm not going to watch it. what's Bree's deal at this point? As far as I'm concerned, Brianna Joy Gray is in the same category as Jimmy Dore. Now, you can have distinctions within the categories, right? But, like, Bree is, like, keep in mind, like, I want you to understand, I have met Bree in person at, like, a campaign event with Bernie, right? I've spoken to her for, like, 5 minutes, and it was, you know, she's a nice person, and I loved her during the campaign, and I thought she was really fun and interesting and smart. And then these last 2 months, I just swear to God, she's only been talking about force the vote and nothing else. And she keeps talking about it. It's like, it's ridiculous and it's cringy. Like, really, Jimmy Dore has started dropping force the vote at this point. But Bree is still in it. A month into the cope. So, I mean, it's going to take a lot. If Bree wants to come back and do a rehabilitation tour, I'm listening. I'll listen to that. Right? If she wants to apologize for all the dumb bullshit she's done, I'll listen to it. But, like, as of this moment, I'm sorry. Cringe. Like, I'm sorry, but fucking cringe as of this moment. Now, that being said, I think a lot of her work during the Bernie campaign was good. Like, if you go back and listen to the Hear the Burn podcasts, they were pretty good. Like, a major, like, Democratic presidential candidate had a podcast that, sure, Bernie wasn't on. I thought he was going to be on in every episode, and that's what they should have done, but they didn't. But they had a podcast that reached a lot of people, and they had people like Michael Brooks on there talk about foreign policy and shit, and that's cool. They had, like, you know, a bunch of really interesting interviews on that podcast, so there's a lot to learn from that, and that's great work. But right now, like, what, and I judge people by what they do in the moments, right? Like, that's the thing, and the same thing with, like, Glenn Greenwald. Right, the same thing with Glenn Greenwald. He's done some good work, and he's done some extremely important fucking stories, but right now, the guy's a fucking crazy person. Glenn Greenwald is, like, indistinguishable from, like, Alex Jones at this point. Right? Which is the same category that Bree is in. Like, they're in this alternate world conspiracy theory network, and it's sad. First and foremost, it is sad. Like, first and motherfucking foremost. Like, do I want to be in a situation where it's like, I, like, loved everyone involved with the Bernie campaign, and now I hate a lot of them? I don't want to be in that situation. Right? Like, I don't want to be making videos about how much I think Bree is a fucking crazy person, or how much I dislike Glenn Greenwald, or whatever. I don't want to be in that position, but I am. Because these people keep saying dumb shit. These people keep fucking saying stupid fucking shit. We lose Michael Brooks, but Mitch McConnell is still alive? That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I just want to say, like, I'm not out here as, like, I'm not going after Brianna Joy Gray to be a clout chaser. You know, if I happen to be chasing clout, that's just, you know, a side effect. But that's not my intention. My intention is I know more about these people than I feel like... Okay, this is my point when it comes to criticizing certain media personalities. It's like, for example, I watched Kyle Kulinski videos a lot in 2016, 2017. US Fest, I did that yesterday. Go watch the clip I made yesterday. For that. By the way, yesterday. Can we talk about yesterday's show? Jesus Christ. But, my point is, like, I know more about Brianna Joy Gray than someone who knows nothing about Brianna Joy Gray. So what I like doing, what my goal is when it comes to my show is I do in-the-moment media criticism. So again, if Brianna Joy Gray right now is saying stupid, dumb fuck shit, and she stops, then I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine with that. If Jimmy Dore stops saying dumb fuck shit and starts saying, like, I'm so sorry for what I've done, I let the money get to me, you know, I realize I've caused a huge problem. Like, if he did that and I felt that it was sincere, right? I would be willing to, you know, change my perspective. That's the whole point of what I do, is I want to criticize what people do in the moment. And I don't do that in a way to kind of cancel people. I don't want to cancel anyone. I'm not interested in canceling people. I'm interested in getting people to change their minds. That's what I'm interested in. So when I make a video about Glenn Greenwald or Brianna Joy Gray or Jimmy Dore, I'm not trying to say that they're evil, irredeemable sacks of human garbage that should be thrown in. Like, you know, I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say that these people have a platform far greater than I will ever have, and they should be responsible with that platform, and they should stop doing ridiculous stuff. Dore is beyond redemption? I think so. I think so. But again, if we're in a situation 5 years from now and Jimmy Dore is trying to do a rehabilitation tour, I'll listen. I'll listen. I don't mind. I'll listen. Same thing with any one of these people. If Joe Rogan wants to do a rehabilitation tour and he makes a public apology and makes it like a big thing where like it's not just like a passive comment that he says in a show, but he does like a big public apology for what he said about trans people, I'll listen. I'll hear what he has to say. And if he becomes an ally in the future, so be it. I'm fine with that. It's all about right now. What's happening right now. The rehabilitation tour will be a grift, I guarantee you. Oh, no, absolutely. I'm not trying to say that I'll take them at face value. I don't take anything at face value. But I'm just saying, if they keep doing it, if that's the road that they try to go down, I will be the one that paves the way for them. US Fest. I just answered that question. I did it yesterday. I did it yesterday. Go watch the clip. It was yesterday. What do you mean she did not? I did yesterday. I did it yesterday. It was on yesterday's show. I'll load up the video. I'll watch the video live right now. It was yesterday. I did that unless there's another one. It was fucking yesterday. Look, it's right here. I got the clip. It's right here. Look at it. Well, let me just tell you why he's a piece of shit. Look at this. So, look. A one Glenn Greenwald. Look, it was yesterday. 69 likes. Because I do. Is really just look. You see that? Boy on us. I feel like
agree with AOC.
This you can go watch. See? There's the video. A grand ulterior motive involved for not wanting to work with it. Are you kidding me, motherfucker? All right, so that's yesterday. But you have other videos that you should make a new channel. Oh my god. Hello, Sonic? I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. I'm not going to get to another. I had another article penned up, but fuck it, whatever. I'm just talking to the chat now. We're having a good time. What's sad is that it seems like in her mind she really wants to be pushing the movement forward and thinks she's using her privilege to push a social democratic agenda, but is shitting on so many in the movement in the meantime. ... She could have used her privilege as a Harvard-educated person so much more effectively. She uses Jimmy as the voice of the working class. Yep. Brianna Joy Gray. This is the moment where it dinged on me. Like the light bulb moment for me with Brianna Joy Gray. When she uncritically and unironically and with complete sincerity called Jimmy Dore an anarchist. She said that. She said that Jimmy Dore is an anarchist on the same day, or maybe it was the day after, that Jimmy had a Boogaloo boy on, and Jimmy called the Boogaloo boy an anarchist. So there are people out there that heard Brianna Joy Gray say that Jimmy Dore is an anarchist, went over to Jimmy Dore's show, and saw Jimmy Dore interview an anarchist who was against universal health care. By the way, Jimmy Dore was just like, oh, I disagree, but we're still friends. Right? I'm sorry. If me, a 24-year-old high school dropout, can know what the definition of anarchism is, and a Harvard-educated corporate lawyer who worked for a front-running Democratic presidential candidate doesn't know what anarchism means? By the way, after an entire summer of Black Lives Matter protests where anarchism was in mainstream culture for a significant period of time, and Brianna Joy Gray doesn't know what the word means, she just doesn't know. I'm sorry, but shut the fuck up with that shit. That is a choice. She chooses to be an idiot at that point. Have I gotten headaches since giving up coffee? I had some headaches yesterday, but not since then. I need to get Nomi on my show. That's what I need to do. In fact, I might text her right now. I'm not actually going to do that. I'll do it later. But, she's choosing to be an idiot. She's choosing to be malicious. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. You're going to tell me Brianna Joy Gray doesn't know what the definition of anarchism is? You're going to tell me that? Seriously? You want me to believe that? Because, again, either option one, she's lying with the, like, express purpose of sowing discontent, or two, she's a fucking idiot. Is it true that you're related to Modi? Oh my god. Bob is just Modi in a car. They call him Car Modi. Am I blocked? You are not blocked, Yo-Yo Huyo. Yeah, Leah, it was like maybe a year or so ago. It was a while ago. It was before I started Above It All. So I didn't like cover it on a show or anything. But it was like when I was in that point where I still like put on a Kyle Kalinske video every once in a while. You know, and just, oh, what does he have to say? And then I saw that and I was like, eh. That's one of the reasons why I started this show. Is because, like, again, a lot of people say that, oh, Kyle Kalinske is a good gateway from the right to the left. I think I'm a good gateway from the right to the left. Like, seriously, like, what makes Kyle Kalinske a good gateway from fucking right-wingers to left-wingers that I don't? I do funny voices. My voices are funnier than Kyle Kalinske. So, is it just the fact that I'm a woman? Is that makes me a less of a good gateway? Because, I mean, that would make a whole lot of sense, but still, I mean, whatever. I never liked Brianna Joy Gray. I hate sock dems that gatekeep the left. They're not even in the fucking left. I would say sock dems are like the way I see it is sock dems are the furthest right I can tolerate on a personal level. Rielan, I sent Nomiki a super chat asking when you're going to be back on the show. You got to get that pressure campaign. Reminder, you got to call into the Majority Report. Talk about Above It All. I found this new show. It's called Above It All, and it's really funny. That's what you got to do. This is how it's done. A piece of dust, like, just flew off of my hand. What is this? You see that? What is that? That just flew into the atmosphere. Jeez. It came off a bit rude. Yeah, definitely do not be rude. Yeah, I mean, like, you don't, like, don't be rude by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I mean, if you want, like, you can send me something and I'll proofread it, like, before you go about and do something, but definitely do not be rude. Or like, you know, I'm not trying to say that you were rude. I'm just saying, like, you know, think about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Nah, fuck that. We gotta storm the gates. Ah, shit. Hello, Spirit Mayo. What's up? Not much. I guess I'm gonna end the show soonish. So, I mean, if you just want to chill and ask me some questions or talk about stuff, you know, let me know. It wasn't rude. I mean, I didn't see it, but, you know, I'm just saying, be very conscious of how you, you know, behave in that kind of fashion. I give chat permission to be rude to me. Yeah, you can be rude to me. Like, I don't mind if you're rude to me. I've never played Quake 2 and it's really good. Home. Are you kidding me? Home. You can't be asking that question. You want to know why you can't be asking this question? Because yesterday, guess what I got in the mail? I know, this is crazy. It's literally on my desk. I got a sealed copy of Quake 2 on PS1 yesterday. I opened this yesterday. This motherfucker, I played this whole game. I have an unsealed copy, obviously. But I was like, oh, I saw a copy for Quake 2, sealed, an auction. I was the only one that bid on it, so here it is. Sealed copy of Quake 2 on the PlayStation. Isn't that amazing? What are the odds that you would ask me about that as I have it right next to me? Next you're going to talk about Big Bass Fishing, because I got that too. Next you're going to be telling me, oh, have you ever played Big Bass Fishing? Wow, what an incredible, that is incredible, wow. Oh, Realon, Czar 70. What is a czar? Let's make February better than January. I would love that. Now, here's my thing. Okay, this is going to be the last topic I'm going to talk about. So... Stop. Oh my god, dude.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family.
Okay. So, Operation Grift Round 2 is... I want to come up with a way to get more money. So, this is my thing, alright? And you can bear with me. So, if I get to a certain point... ZAR is South African Rand. Okay. Interesting. If I get to a point... Is that like... Is 70 ZARs? Is that a lot? I don't know what that is. Let me look that up. If I get to a point where I am able to make money, I'm going to be able to... Oh, it's $4.66. Hell yeah. That's a lot more than, a lot of currencies, people give me and they're not worth much, but appreciate that. I do. You would go crazy without coffee? I'm on day 2. Day 2, everybody, day 2. Someone get that SpongeBob gif of like Mr. Krabs and the bell, in the 24-hour. Day 78! Do that. The fact that you are so intelligent and can educate other people, Andrea, as well as entertain them, we're all very lucky you were born. I wish you long life. I'm planning on living to 200 years old. You might scoff at that, but I don't. So, that's my goal. I'm living to 200. I'm at least living above 100. At least, at the bare minimum. And you are a gamer, too. This is just a cherry on top of a cake. P.S. Don't eat cakes. Oh, my God. God bless your soul, Bodan. Views on Afterlife? Well, this could be very complicated. Okay, let me talk about Operation Grift first. I use PayPal to support your food habit. Reminder, PayPal, just dropping it in. I'm just going to drop it in. But I want to get so much money to the point where I'm able to do things besides feed my family and myself with the money. Because this is something that I thought about. Because like I said, I used to work for a really bizarre streaming website that paid me thousands of dollars to stream on their platform. And I ended up spending most of the money on myself and my mother. And so, I mean, that, it was okay. But I want to, if I ever get to that point where I am making thousands of dollars a month again, which right now I'm making $1,000 a month, so if I get to the point where there's an S at the end, I want to be in a position where I can start using my money to do things. And so that if that means if there's someone in my chat room who has like financial hardship, I'd love to be able to like help them out. I'd love to be able to like personally help them, and then like maybe, get like a crowdsourcing and everyone else in the chat can help them. I want to make like this stream environment like a very family oriented stream environment. And I know that that's kind of inconducive to growing my stream. Like if I ever get like 500 viewers a stream or whatever, chances are I'm not going to be able to do that as efficiently, and also, of course, there's, the potential for people to take advantage of that, and that's all stuff I want to think about. But if I ever get to the point where I'm able to utilize money for things that aren't just feeding my family, that's something I have wanted to do for a while now. Ever since I stopped working for the streaming website. And again, I'll talk about, like, that's a whole story. I could do like a 3-hour show about my streamy years. But yeah, like as soon as I stopped having money, I was very depressed at the time. I tried to kill myself probably somewhere around 5 or 6 times. In that era, I spent all of my money that I had up to a point. I had like $5,000 in savings, and over the course of like 6 or 7 months, I just spent it all on like fast food and like pizza and shit. And I got extremely unhealthy and all that kind. It's a long story. But again, like I was saying before, I didn't have my life figured out at that point in my life, but now I do. And so that's like a huge distinction where it's like, I now know what I want to do in life. I now know what I can do in life. I now know what what the options are to do in life and that kind of stuff. And so if I'm ever in that kind of financial situation ever again, I'm not going to fuck it up. So that's kind of like what I'm at right now. Keemstar was big mad. Oh, you bet he is. Thank you, Ick. Pitchfork face, Ick, Jib, face, pitchfork, Ick. Face with unibrow, pitchfork, Ick, face, I, __. For the 5, pounds. I appreciate it. But, yeah, so, I mean, I would love to find a way to get more money, but obviously, there's people that watch me that don't have money, you know, that kind of stuff. Malfi Cho, am I okay? I'm great. I've never been better. Sounds like you went through a dark night of the soul and came out with more knowledge of self. That's what I'm saying. That's prophetic right there. That's what I'm saying. But again, 2021, I've got big motherfucking plans, okay? I spent like November and December of last year, with a personal, I've never done this before. Like, this is the first time in my life, that I've actually planned out things I want to do in the year of 2021. I spent November and December coming up with ideas of what I want to do next year. Now, for those of you that don't know, I was extremely depressed from like the age of like 13-ish, all the way up until like 21-ish. Well, 22, honestly. And then like 23 is where I started recovering, and now I'm 24, and I feel like, you know, I'm a little bit better. But like my point is like that does a lot of damage. I have never ever really thought about my future in any capacity up until just a couple months ago. What are the plans? I mean, I've already given most of them to you. Anything that I'm willing to say right now, because again, there's a couple things I got to keep secret for the sake of, you know, trust me, later. You'll understand later why I kept it secret. But for the most part, I just want to, I want to promote peace, love, and community amongst just everyone that I ever interact with. My personal position right now is I want, if anyone stumbles upon or across my stream, I want them to be a better person as a result. That's kind of my goal, like on a life goal. You know what I mean? So it's like if someone comes to my stream and I can tell them, like, teach them something about like how food works or like how, you know, nutrients function, you know, I would love to do that. A lot of people have said, like, they've come to my chat room and they didn't know that added sugar is in every product on the supermarket. And then I've had people tell me, like, hey, I've lost like 10 pounds because I quit out products with added sugar. And that makes me feel fucking great. That makes me feel fucking amazing. So, like, my goal is I want everyone who comes across me in any fashion to be better as a result of coming across me. That's my goal. So I try to do that. And again, I dropped out of high school, right? I'm a poor motherfucker. I've been a poor motherfucker my whole life. So it's like, as far as if there ever is like an alternate timeline where it's like I'm like making mad cash like 20 years from now and I'm like a millionaire, right? We'll see. You know, you got to keep me accountable. You know, I don't think that that's ever going to happen. I don't think I would ever be able to accrue such wealth to that point. Like, for example, the house I live in right now, I'm perfectly fine living in a house of this size and stature for the rest of my life. I'm perfectly fine living with other people for the rest of my life. I'm not one of those people that has, like, you know, I really just want to make people's lives better. That's really all I want to do. But, you know, there's a whole lot going on there. JL, $10. Andrea speaks the truth and wants the best for everyone. I try. At least I try, right? Like, I attempt to do so. I want to get held accountable. I just want to be held. I haven't been held since this pandemic started. I'm so lonely. I stumbled hither by searching Force the Vote. Hell yes. Hell yes. And that's like one of the reasons why I even made videos about Force the Vote. Because I know that there are a lot of people that were confused. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And it's like, if my video shows up, I feel like a lot of people have told me. Now, obviously, there's the dumb motherfuckers, the too far gone assholes that are like, you're a corporate sellout! Did you just get a check for Blue Cross Blue Shield? You're a neoliberal shill! You look like you're rich! I look like I'm rich? Like, if you look at this bedroom and you think I'm rich, I'm sorry. Right? I'm sorry, but Jesus Christ, you've got, like, some sort of mental defect. I don't think we could ever have communications in any real fashion. you know, I know that there's a lot of people out there that are like, what the fuck? Why is Brianna Joy Gray, the former press secretary of whatever, like talking about this dumb conspiracy theory? And I want them to be able to stumble upon my shit, and I want to be able to just disperse that bullshit, like, at the get-go. You know what I mean? Service to others is always beautiful because when we service others with only the intention to spread love, then we serve ourselves. Exactly. If, for example, everyone in my direct circle is as happy as I am right now, that's only going to be a better situation, because then they will be happier, and as a result, I will be happier because, one, I've made them happy in a roundabout way. Two, I'm happy that they're happy. And then everyone also has their own personal circles. Everyone's got their own family members. You know, maybe some of them are too far gone. You know, maybe some of them aren't. But my point is, like, it's a ripple effect. You know, you make someone happy, they make someone else happy, they make someone else happy, etc. And that's, I want a society, and this is the thing, like, about, like, me being a communist, right? I am not a communist in the purely economic sense. I don't necessarily just want to redistribute, you know, all resources and seize the means of production. I want to do that, obviously. That is a necessary step in human evolution. But on a personal level, we need to be communistic on a personal level, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you call yourself a communist, yet you eat fast food every day of the week? Like, and I'm not trying to say, like, I'm not trying to do the meme of, like, yet you participate in society. Interesting. I'm not trying to do that meme. I'm trying to say, yes. Am I trying to say that, like, fast food is evil and you should never do it? No. If you are in a bind or whatever, absolutely. But also, again, you have to understand, we've been lied to our whole lives about everything. This is something I've been thinking a lot about lately, especially with the mushrooms, right? I've been thinking about, like, every single aspect of the human experience we have been lied to about. The food that we eat, we've been lied to about. The air that we breathe, we've been lied to about. The houses that we live in, we've been lied to about. The system of economics that we live in, we've been lied to about. The people we should respect, we've been lied to about. We've been lied to about fucking everything. Everything we've been lied to about. And so, like, a lot of people, yes, they figure out, yes, the economy is shit, I lost my house, I get it, right? But there's so much more than that on, like, a personal fucking level. You know what I mean? Like, I was born and raised on fast food and ice cream, right? One of these days, that's going to be the name of a book I write, right? But, like, I was born and raised on fast food and ice cream. I didn't know that, like, it was so evil. I knew I had the innate understanding of, yes, I could be eating healthier things, but I just didn't know how bad for my body it was. You know what I mean? And so, like, up until, like, a couple years ago, and then I became a vegetarian, I learned how to cook for myself, you know, all that. I quit fast food entirely. So it's like, and that kind of stuff. And it's like, a lot of people just don't know. And also, a lot of people are not in a lot of their own position. I am very, very lucky, right? I am so, like, my job is I sit and talk on a webcam for a couple hours, 7 days a week. That's my job. Like, I get paid to do this. Like, there are people that are like literally, like, you know, janitors or, like, you know, construction workers or, like, fast food workers that get paid less than I do. And, right, you know, so I'm in a very privileged position where I'm able to sit around and think about shit all day. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the whole point. And the whole point, I came across this idea, the whole point of consciousness, the whole point of the human experience, it's an evolutionary tactic to find a way for each other to help each other with creative problem solving. That's really all this is. The whole point, the ability for you to think, the ability for you to, like, feel, the ability to you to ponder about anything, the evolutionary purpose of that is so that you feel and figure something out and then help other people so that they can figure something out and then they help you, and it's mutually beneficial. For example, I am not a scientist. I'm not out there developing anti-aging or slowing aging or whatever, right? That's not my position. But there are humans that exist in this species that is their position. That's what they do. That's their job. That's their purpose to society, right? I feel like my purpose to society, as of this current moment, is to think about bullshit and be able to put it into a way that people can understand in a fun little web show. That's my purpose. So, again, I do that so you don't have to. Like, other people work in certain positions so that I don't have to. That's the whole purpose of society. Is the whole purpose of consciousness. Like, personally, I don't believe consciousness is even real. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it's just chemical reactions and blah, blah, blah. We're not even real people. It doesn't mean anything, right? But it does mean something at the same time, right? Now, those are two things that I think at the same time. And so, like, I've been saying, like, this is really just, I just want to make everyone else's life better. I'm in that position where I'm able to do so. And there you go. My worst take yet. Oh, no, I'm canceled. Damn it. Building community, anarchist principles, and forming our politics can make a huge difference. I kind of feel some people in the door orbit could benefit. It's this hyper-focus on electoralism with no other framework or context. Abso-motherfucking-lutely. No, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Pitchfork face with unibrow guy. Like, yeah, is it real? Well, it doesn't matter if it's real. My point is, we should use it for the best of our capabilities. Like, for example, like, again, I've had people come into my stream and say, I never thought about, you know, how bad my diet was. And then all of a sudden they hear me say something, and then that leads to a reaction in their brain. And then that reaction is like, woo, beam, and then it's in their brain, and they think about it. And then maybe they're at the supermarket 4 days from now, and they're like grabbing some of their favorite products, and they stop for a moment and they think, wait a second. And then they look at the nutrition label and they realize there's probably a better product I could be buying. That's like one of all like possible things. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the goal here. So whether or not it's real, my point is not that it's not real. My point is not that we're all fake, man. My point is, this is the purpose of consciousness. This is why we have consciousness to begin with. There's no other reason for consciousness other than helping each other and ourselves. Which, if we help each other, we help ourselves. Like, that's the whole point of it. So, like, consciousness, the whole point of consciousness is not to do drugs and steal money from people and fucking, like, you know, spit on people from the top of buildings like fucking rich Wall Street bankers do. That's not the whole point of consciousness. The whole point of consciousness is to help each other. DCK Punk, $5. Dollars. Ethical ag will lead the revolution. I think so. Because, again, yes, would I love to have Nancy Pelosi and Kevin McCarthy and fucking Mitch McConnell, all these people come together on legislation that will ban added sugar from products? I would love that. And that's a goal I strive for, or whatever, you know, future leaders and but at the same time, you know what I can do right now? You know what I can do literally right now? I got 70 people in my stream. I can tell them these things, and then they can make those personal decisions. They can better themselves right now. I don't need to wait for big government to ban sugar or added sugar. I don't need to wait for that. I don't need to wait for big government to ban high fructose corn syrup. I don't need to wait for that. I can instill a positive chemical reaction in other people that will have them do that same effect right now. So that's kind of my thing. I really need to eat better. I'm a nurse though, and I work when I was in New Jersey, right? My grandfather was in the hospital, and they gave my grandfather this like shake called Ensure. And I looked at the label. It was called Ensure, right? The label had 14 grams of added sugar in the form of fructose. And they give this shake to people that are in the hospital and need nutrients. Right? 14 grams of added sugar in the form of fructose with only 9 grams of protein? What? You give that to people in the hospital? What? You know, but again, it's all because these motherfuckers are like, oh, it's just cheap and it's good enough. What? Are you fucking joking? What's my opinion on milk? I know off topic, but I'm trying to change my diet and I'm sure I should be drinking. I drink soy. I've never had hemp milk. I would love to have hemp milk, but I've never seen it anywhere. I drink soy. I drink almond. Sometimes I drink oat. I've tried cashew. I've tried pea. I just mix it up. Whatever's got the least amount of added sugars, that's what I go for. And sometimes based on what my grocery stores have in stock, sometimes it's soy, sometimes it's almonds, sometimes it's oats, sometimes it's pea, sometimes it's a mixture, right? I just get whatever's the healthiest at the time. Also you have diet experience. You've been there and taught yourself. Chat went down. And that's what inspires me. I'm on my 2nd week off sugar. Awesome, Carly. That's amazing. That's amazing. Again, it really means a lot. Christian, $14.99. Your voice is necessary. Thank you. I try my best. I'm gonna end this stream soon because I've got stuff I want to do today. Is it even worth playing Quake 2 on hard? I feel like the game is cheating. I have played Quake 2 PC on hard plus. You might not know what hard plus is. It's the secret difficulty that's even harder. I have beaten the whole game several times on hard plus. I should do some Quake 2. I love that game, man. I haven't played that nearly enough. I play Doom all the fucking time, but I've only played Quake 2 like maybe 3 times in the last 10 years, and that's honestly that's an insult, considering I like the game so much. I do not drink cow milk. Cow milk, I completely cut that out. Even if, like, for example, cow milk is the best option, I will not drink it just because. Quake Champions. No, fuck Quake 3. Fuck Quake 3. Fuck Quake 3. Any ideas how to quit Pepsi? Well, you can wean yourself off. You can maybe, something I do sometimes is I'll have a Diet Pepsi. And sometimes I'll have half Diet Pepsi, half seltzer. Seltzer is brilliant. If you're addicted to soda in any fashion, seltzer, my God, it's amazing. You can get seltzer, add a little bit of lemon to it, you know, and you got a nice drink. Yeah, I mean, seltzer is really, really useful for me. Again, I used to drink soda. I used to drink 2 liters of soda a day. Probably, like, that was, like, the floor. I sometimes would drink 4 liters of soda a day. Every day. Right, when I was, like, a teenager. And it's like, and eventually I just said, I have to stop. So now, if I ever want that bubbly sensation, I'll have a Diet Pepsi, or maybe I'll have, like, some seltzer, something like that. I'll put, like, you know, I haven't had an actual soda, and maybe ever once in a while when Mountain Dew comes out with a new flavor, I'm like, all right, fuck it, why not? I'll take a couple sips, you know. But it's like, you know, Secular Talk is funded. Yeah, Big Seltzer, really. I mean, hey, if Secular Talk was actually funded by Big Seltzer, he would talk more about being healthy. Just saying. Just saying. But really, water is the best decision you can make. Is cow milk bad, or you cut it out because you're vegetarian? I cut it out because of the moral implications. There are alternatives to milk that I find, or cow milk that I find reasonable for me in my diet. I will still eat cheese and eggs. Cheese, I don't have as much. Like, really, it's just pizza for me, sometimes pasta. But eggs, really, for me, eggs, I try to get cage-free. I try to get the best moral implications for eggs. But eggs are just a very nutrient-dense food that is very easy to cook and stuff, so. But, I mean, cow milk, really, it's, for me, my purpose in being a vegetarian is first and foremost my own personal health, and second off, the moral implications. So, for example, cow milk has there's no real, like, sure, it could be healthy for me, but there's alternatives that are just as, if not more healthy, you know? And also the moral implications are bad. Whereas with eggs, yeah, there's alternatives, but, you know, sometimes you don't want to eat chickpeas every day, you know, like there's a situation, and like sometimes if there's a sale and all that stuff, and the moral implications, you can, you know, try to get cage free, you can try to get, you know, like properly fed chickens and all that, and you can do that, and you can mitigate the damage. I'm all about harm reduction. Cheese is literally milk. I know, but cheese, you know, it's on pizza sometimes. What are you gonna do? Would I mind? I mean, you can do whatever you want, Bodan. Yeah, ethical milk in the form of non-cow milk. Like, there's no reason to have cow milk. Like, the vitamins, the nutrients in cow milk you can get elsewhere for the same, like, effect. Like, you're drinking milk. You know, cheese is a little bit more of an interesting, you know, food. It's on, like, certain kinds of things. It's not as easily replaced. But anyway, I think this stream is over. I could probably sit here all day and talk to my chat room about cheese, milk, and vegetarianism. But I've got things to do. I want to do some things, and so I'm going to go do some things. And I love all of you. You all mean a lot to me. Even people like Eric who come in here and say stupid shit every day. You all mean a lot to me. I hope that at some point, we can, you know, I mean, I want to build a better future. And you can call me an idealist, whatever. Like, whatever. Like, call me whatever you want, man. But I'm trying something. I'm out here trying to do something. So that's what I'm doing. Pepsi has too much sugar. Wean yourself. Maybe up your natural sugar intake during the time you're lessening your Pepsi intake. Sugar is physically addictive. Yeah, sugar is physically addictive. Eric. You're doing it again. You're doing that thing where you can't understand English, yet you try to sound like a scholar. Like, come on. Like, this is the problem with people like Eric, is I can have the most nuanced possible take, and they will interpret it as, like, an extremist take, and they will strawman that. Like, I can say, like, again, there's alternatives to milk that accomplish the same effect, and therefore you want to try to minimize your harm. And some foods, if you're going to have, like, certain foods, sometimes cheese is a little bit harder to replace. It doesn't matter how nuanced I am. Doesn't matter. It just does. For Eric, it's all about trying to do... Gotcha! I just destroyed the internet streamer with my superior intellect and like, I'm not being inconsistent. You are being inconsistent because you don't understand the English language. You are, by all definitions, a fucking idiot. Again, the original definition of an idiot is someone who doesn't pay attention to the world around them. You cannot process basic English. Now, again, if you're like, let's say you're a foreign exchange student and you're not in your first language is like, you know, Mandarin or something. I get it. I understand. But if your first and foremost language is English and this is what you come up with, I mean, man, they're not sending their best. Like, let me just tell you.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Like, again, my first and foremost is health. I said my first and foremost is health. My second is ethics. So if there's a situation where cheese is the healthiest food I can have at that moment, right? Then, again, my first and foremost calculation is my personal health. So I'm not even, like, I'm not bending anything. I'm not being inconsistent on anything. You're just a fucking idiot. You're a fucking moron. Way to fuck up the vibe? Nah, it's all good. You gotta dunk on the dumb fucks every now and then. Like, every now and then, you just gotta dump on the dumb fucks. It really is just that simple. Wow, that's racist. What's racist? Call me Kantian? Is that racist? I don't know. There are plenty of substitute cheese products. Absolutely. There are. I know. But again, it's about personal health and harm minimization. Antifa or not, Americans are all the same. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. I'm easily triggered. You think I'm easily triggered? This is, again, I know, right? This show has been officially extended another 10 minutes. But this is my problem with these people, right? They think I'm triggered. Now, what does triggered mean? Well, let me look it up. What's the definition of triggered? Define triggered. Like, if you think I'm triggered, then you don't, like, there's a lot going on. So, triggered, activated by a trigger. Oh, thank you a lot, Google. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. What does it mean to be triggered? Triggers are anything that reminds someone of previous trauma. To be triggered is to have an intense emotional or physical reaction, such as a panic attack, after encountering a trigger. So, clearly, I am not triggered. Clearly. Now, again, Eric is doing this, you're triggered. Like, as a gotcha, because they think that I got I'm not offended by you saying dumb shit. Right? Like, that doesn't offend me. To me, you saying something stupid, if anything, it's the opposite of triggered. I am triggered into a better life. I'm having more fun. This stream is more entertaining for everyone. You are making everyone else laugh with your stupidity. So if that's what being triggered is, if being triggered is making my life superior, hey, I guess I'm triggered. But, again, they're not sending their best. Not sending their best. If you think this is an intense emotional reaction, me, like, talking to people on the internet is an intense But again, these are the kinds of people that their goal is to make other people uncomfortable for whatever. And that's the thing, is, again, the whole evolutionary purpose of consciousness is to find a way to delegate tasks so that we can bring ourselves to a collective intelligence. That's the whole purpose. But somehow there's like a cancer in the brain for some people. Like there's just like and I don't know how else to describe it, a cancer in the brain. Maybe not like in a literal physical sense, right? But in a mental sense. There's a cancer in the brain that says, I'm going to use my incredible gift of consciousness, an incredible gift and experience, right? I'm going to use that to ruin other people's lives. I can't, like, I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. Did you always have the propensity to lucid dream, or did I train my brain from scratch? I trained my brain from scratch. Over the course of, like, last summer, I spent 2 months, I quit weed for 2 months, and I hardcore trained lucid dreaming. I've been able to do it every now and then, and like from being a teenager all the way up until then. But I spent 2 months of my life training it and figuring out supplements you can use to make it a little bit better, finding out like certain ritualistic ways that you can do things, that kind of stuff. For these people, being triggered is just having a response. They can't handle if you have a comeback or a response. They can't imagine someone being able to react to their galaxy. Yeah, to them, being triggered is, oh, I posted something and someone else acknowledged it. Triggered! Oh, triggered! Woo! Like, to them, that's what it is. But again, thank you. Appreciate it for everyone for showing up. And I'm just gonna ban Eric W. Like, you can keep watching my videos, make a new account or something, try a different shtick. But again, you're just useless at this point, you know? Like, a fence is only as strong, or a chain is only as strong as its weakest link kind of a situation. And right now, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. I'm just gonna get that clip because it's just really funny.
Trevor, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. I love it. Oh god. God bless game shows, man. Holy shit. But again, he is a good vent. Oh, we'll find more. There's more of them out there. Don't worry about it. He'll make an alt account. He'll do something. He's gonna go on his Twitter page and talk about how I'm censoring free speech or some dumb bullshit. Challenge your rivals in Mortal Kombat. Not the game. An actual duel to the death. Hell yes, buddy. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you for showing up. And again, we're going to make the world a better place. I am building something special here. Now, maybe that's just my own ego talking, and you can feel free to keep me in check, right? But I'm trying to, at the very least, build something special. And I hope that y'all are enjoying it. And I hope that y'all will... You know, I hope that y'all have a great day. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. So, goodbye.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ, but those with the lowest IQ, but those with the lowest IQ, but those with only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, and when they get caught, and when they get caught, my family. And when they get caught, my family. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. We hold these truths to be self-evident. We hold these truths to be self-evident. We hold these truths to be self-evident you know the thing.
At all. He looks like a narc. I mean, the Proud Boys I've been saying for a while, they're clearly the same niggas Antifa. They're clearly the same niggas Antifa. They're clearly the same niggas Antifa. Like Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump. Like Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump.
Dumb people, liberal people.
But you have to go home now.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Dumb people, liberal people.
I don't know who created